freelancing for musicians became popular in Nigeria after COVID.
When
We were already there before COVID. So when COVID came, the algorithm was just pushing us up. So COVID kind of blew us off. We'd have been there before. What is happening right now in London? I started way back from school, where I established a standard of musical expression that everybody now begins to see that as a reference. By the time I was done in 500 level, I already had a band. I mean, when we left, everybody scattered. But my band, as at that time, was so good, the governor invited us twice. Now, we were not even doing high life music, hip hop. No. Instrumental. There was a time I was sleeping in the studio. Now, this studio doesn't have windows on it.
Story for days.
So, we cleared all the bush around. There's a river, a stream beside it. We became barbecue. And
don't tell me that's what
for mosquitoes.
The moment wherein you begin to chase something that is much more powerful than money. Money naturally falls on your feet.
Yeah.
Right. And I think one of the greatest undoings of so many young people is to focus on money. But money is a currency. There has to be some certain level of charge that you've taken for that flow to come into you. Because I mean, the reason why you can become brave at that point in time is that you are not operating at the same level other drummers are operating. There's just that distinguishing factor that IT is not on this people's level.
I was probably one of the first drummers in Nigeria that ever uploaded a video on YouTube.
So what's the regret?
You didn't take it seriously.
Oh.
In audio engineering, in equalization, there's something we call subtractive EQ. What it does is remove what you don't want. Then what you want will naturally be more prominent and pronounced here. I apply that principle into many of the things I do. So sometimes beauty or perfection is not about adding layers. It's about removing the things that you don't need. Most people just think that I need to buy more gear. Oh, I need to get this. I need to get that. Okay, calm down. Why not look for the things sucking the energy and take them out? And then you see that you begin to flourish a little bit more than you were. Follow after excellence. And success, will chase you pants down.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Walk Behind the Wind podcast, a podcast wherein we do not only spotlight the success of entrepreneurs, but we'll drill down to talk about the hustle, the resilience that has brought about the success. I am your host, Adejiran Deborah, and with me on the show today is an incredible entrepreneur, a music producer, a musician who is actually changing the narrative about the music industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the incredible Itunu Joe. Drum rolls!
Thank you for having me.
Hi. Good afternoon, IT. I think that's what people call you.
Yeah.
Am I safe to call you IT?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so welcome on the show today.
Thank you
so much for honoring our invitation. Despite your busy schedule, you still decided to show up today, so we are so grateful.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So before we start, I just want us to, have a quick game just to have an insight into what you prefer. So it's just a this or that game. So I can say studio or stage. So what sort of presentation do you prefer or performance? Yeah. Are we ready?
Let's have it.
Okay. So let me start with that. Studio or stage?
Studio.
Okay. Morning or midnight inspiration?
Midnight, please.
Okay. Collaboration or solo work?
Collaboration, definitely.
Coffee or juice while working?
While working. Juice.
I feel like I can almost guess that it's juice. Pass me that juice. Okay, so can you remember the first software you ever used to make music?
Reason software. Reason 5.0 to be precise.
Okay. Interesting. So what is that one word that describes your creative process?
One word.
Do you need a sentence?
Okay. Well, can I make a word up?
Yeah.
Stick to itiveness. Just stick to it.
Don't leave it.
Don't leave it.
Can we call that resilience? Or tenacity?
Those ones make it sound cliche, but using my own kind of words.
You stick.
Yeah. Just
we're not dropping it. We're not dropping the ball. Oh, that is so beautiful. So lastly, and you have to do this, you would indulge me on this.
Okay.
So I want you to sing a song.
Yes,
I'm passing you the mic.
So the problem is my guys are going to...
Okay.
No, they won't forgive me for this,
Don't worry.
for attempting to sing on camera.
Don't worry. We got
Oh
them.
my God.
I just want you to sing a song that defined your childhood.
Ọmọ mi ṣeun rere tí ẹ dára o. Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi tí ẹ dára o. Ìyá mi máa ṣeun rere gbàdúrà fún mi. Ọmọ mi máa ṣeun rere gbàdúrà fún mi.
That was so
Ọmọdé
good.
bá wà burúkú.
Yeah. That's so good. A round of applause. That was so good. You sound so good now. So why do you think your team members will come for you?
You've not heard my guys sing. That's why.
Okay, so we're going to be getting right into the conversation.
All right.
And one interesting thing I want us to do first is that I want you to introduce yourself to our viewers. I intentionally did not introduce you because you are a polymath. There is so much to say about you, and I want to really give you the liberty to tell us who is Itunu Joe.
So my name is Itunu Joseph. I'm the last child of my mom. I have 3 elder siblings. I am a father. I'm a husband. I have 2 sons.
Aww.
I'm a drummer. I'm a music producer, a music director, and also I own a company, a production company. I'm not the type that talks about myself a lot, so it's quite weird. I don't know.
Okay, so let me save you that. I know that by the time we continue this conversation, they are going to understand who the enigma, Haiti is.
Thank you.
But a quick one before we, drill down into the conversation.
Yeah.
So you said you're a father of 2 sons. In my head, I'm trying to see, there is this thing that was trending, Project Mbappe. And all of those things. So
okay.
I'm trying to see that maybe you're doing Project IT.
I see what you're doing.
Trying to pass the baton to your children. I mean, they're sons, so maybe.
Yeah, so I'm of the opinion that I shouldn't force them. But if I see any hint that they are interested,
I'm not going to let it go.
Yeah, we die there.
We die here.
But then I don't want to force them. Like my first son picked interest in engineering stuff. Construction stuff, He's just 4 years old, and he can name, like if he sees a truck, it was from him I learned that this truck that this environmental people use is called a dump truck.
Oh wow!
What we call tipper. My God.
I can imagine.
Anyways, so he's interested in that kind of thing. So I don't think I want to force, but I know that children, their interests change over time, but I'm just observing them. If any of them picks it up,
we are going to drill down. We are going to drill down. And I think that is so beautiful because one of the greatest undoings, while we were growing up is that there is just one thing our parents wanted us to do. In fact, some of them wanted us to live their dreams, the dreams that they could not achieve.
That's
so
right.
They wanted you to become a doctor, a lawyer, and all of that. And speaking about that, let's see. So, I mean, you're a musician now, a producer. So is that what you have always wanted to do? What was your future ambition? Like a 10-year-old Itunu, what was going through your mind? You wanted to be a pilot or something?
No, I never had any of those things. I always wanted to do music.
Wow.
I am not the type of person that sees end games. I don't see life like that. I see it as a journey. I've always expected that, at one point or the other in my life, I'm going to be making people happy with what I'm doing, So if it is music for a while, if it's something else, it's fine. But the whole idea is just the journey. So when I discovered that the music, like the drumming I was doing when I was way younger, was getting a lot of attention from the local
congregation,
community and all of that, I feel like maybe this is something I can, bank on, something I can use to touch my world. And I just decided I'm going to do music. But it was quite tough, because there were no examples to show our parents that time. When I was growing up, it's not like now that Nigeria, now has a lot of exports in music, in the music industry. But when I was growing up, there were no serious examples. Most of the examples we saw, they were artists, not musicians.
So it doesn't look like a noble profession.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. It was really hard.
So you started music as far back as how old were you?
Since I was like 6. So my mom told me that when I was way younger, because for some reason I can't really remember most of my childhood.
Yeah, shout out to mommy.
But she told me when I was way younger that once the tin cans for the beverages are used up, they don't throw it away because I always request for it.
Wow.
So I'll keep it and then
Start
arrange
doing
it,
your
stack
thing.
it, and I always wanted to drum. Although the earliest memory I can remember was there was time, my dad is a pastor actually, pastors a church. So there was a time that they brought in somebody to train young people in church, to train them in music, in drums and all. But I was too young for that training, according to them. But I would go to the church. I remember that one, that I would go to the church and I will be looking at them through the window because they won't let me in, right? So one of those days, he was teaching them an exercise and nobody was getting it. And from the window,
Wow.
I said, I'm going to play this thing. And he said, yeah, come and play it. And I played it. Wow. So within a short time, I became the #1 drummer in my local church.
So good.
Because I had practiced a lot at home, playing around. So I think what they didn't know how to put, they didn't know how to put a name to it. But what happened was, I think I figured out rhythm very early.
Your
my
ears were
sense
tuned.
of rhythm was discovered very early. Not everybody has that luxury. And also for the ear tuning, which is note deafness, I think I overcame it very early also. Because we didn't even have a keyboard in my
local
assembly. And as at the time we got a keyboard, I was already playing the keyboard without going to a music school. So what happened was, we would go for some mass choir rehearsals and the tonic software and everything. I knew it. I just knew it.
So it's safe to say that IT is a gifted child.
Yeah. I just knew it. I just knew that, okay, this is the interval between this note and this note.
Wow.
I just knew it.
Without professional
proper,
training.
I've never been to a music school before. When we got a keyboard in church, I already started playing. So probably if I was exposed to some of those things earlier, probably I would be a lot better than I am right now because it was just there. Nobody knew it was there. Nobody knew that I was already, I've already overcome tone deafness. Nobody knew that. But I just know when you're singing off key, I just know that something is wrong.
Something is off.
Since I was young. So yeah.
I think that is so beautiful. And hearing you speak now, I think I can understand why you said that one word you're going to use to describe yourself is stick to it. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. Because we've experienced a whole lot of career suggestion. So here is what I mean. So in different generations, there are certain careers that are telling you to, children to study. So they'll say, oh, medicine, some people will tell you. There was also a wave of tech, do tech, and to think that all through those years, you have sticked to music. Despite the noise that was coming to you, you have sticked to that thing. And I think I really want you to talk to us about how you have been able to silence the noise, because there would be noise, because I want to believe that you didn't start to, maybe I might be wrong, you didn't start to reap the reward of the music at that point in time. Or let's have that conversation. So was it that...
There's a whole story behind that.
So let's tell us that story.
All right, so it was all fun. Like I said, I was really interested in the journey. When I wrote my WAEC, that was the same year I lost my mom. When that happened, it really broke me because I was very close to her. And I said I wasn't going to write JAMB that year because I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I already wrote my WAEC before she died. She didn't even see my WAEC results. Anyways, when that happened, the only thing on my mind was, what would I do that if my mom was alive, she would be proud.
Be happy.
So I remember very well that in this same millennium, actually,
wow,
somebody was doing a concert around the time she died that I was playing drums in. And the guy, this is quite funny, and the guy did a flyer, a billboard, like flyer posters, put my face on the poster.
As for Star Boy.
So my mom saw it. She brought it home. We live in a church compound, so the notice board of the church, she pinned it there.
That's
all of you are going to
son.
see this. So shortly after that, before the concert, she died. Like she died a week to the concert. So during the concert, I played at the concert quite all right. I still played. But when I played, I was now asking myself, I don't think there's anything I want to do that is different from music that will ever make my mom proud. She wasn't this proud of my educational, academic achievement because I always topped the class. It never freaked her. Well, why did this one freak her so much? Then I began to remember that my first pair of drumsticks, my mom bought it for me, and a lot of other things. So I decided I'm going to do music, no matter what happens. Whether the money is there or not, I was just going to do it. But I wasn't even thinking about money. It was the journey, the fact that it's satisfying, and the fact that I'm making my mom proud. Right? That year after my mom's death, I spent 1 year to sharpen that skill.
Come on.
To make it something that if I go to another location, another city...
You're irresistible.
Yeah, and that was exactly what happened. So when I wrote JAMB the next year, I got admission to FUTA. When I got to FUTA, first year in FUTA, before before the end of the session, I was already a popular drummer
in
Akure.
So now in FUTA then, did you went to study music?
No, I went to study electrical electronics engineering.
Why?
Well, I already missed my opportunity for studying music because I was in science class in secondary school. I was like, what's the closest thing I can do to music? And I figured out that music applications had electrical, electronics everywhere. The keyboard is electrical, the guitar is electrical, the microphone, the PA system. So I was like, okay, I think I'm just going to go into this closest for me. And that was why I chose that. So when I got to school, I wasn't even intending to show myself in school, but they figured me out.
It's just slides.
Yeah, because it's there. What I had, the level of dexterity I had in drumming at that time, nobody around had it. As a matter of fact, I think I was the first drummer around that was using tracks to play, that was playing to tracks. Nobody else was doing it for years. There was a time I had to go to Lagos to train drummers in Lagos on how to use tracks, you know. I was already forward thinking in the things I was doing. As at that time, YouTube just, this is one of my biggest regrets, actually.
That you didn't study YouTube?
No, I started YouTube.
Okay, so what's the regret?
But didn't take it seriously.
Oh.
I was probably one of the first drummers in Nigeria that ever uploaded a video on YouTube.
Wow.
And, you know, I wasn't serious with it. I didn't know that it was something that was going to be.
You know, you said something quite interesting now, and I'm glad you gave that language of you were quite visionary, because every time as I'm hearing you speak, one thing that was spot on for me was that, who is this guy? Because as a young guy, you sort of had visionary insight as to what you wanted to do. You were not confused. And as a teenager in those years, many people were looking up to adults, you know, around them to say, well, what should I do? What should I not do? And that's why a lot of people have, you know, found themselves in niche where they had no business, you know, doing. You know, everybody just saying, sis, just go and do this thing, just go and do this thing. So you had that, because for you to have been thinking that, okay, I think I should not do music now. So what is the closest thing I could do? So for you thinking that you wanted to, you know, take a course that will have an influence on what you desire to do is something that is applaudable. Not so many people have that insight. Everybody's just going.
Although something influenced
that. Let's hear that.
So, it's important to expose yourself to possibilities that is beyond your immediate environment. So this is what happened to me.
Okay.
After my mom's death and all, so somebody came, you know, people pitied us a lot. Somebody came and gave us a laptop. So I was the youngest one. I was the one that was about to get into university. So they were like, okay, you take the laptop. So I took the laptop and I called a friend of mine who is a drummer. I was like, can you please help me put drum videos on this laptop?
You are this drum shark.
So I'm going somewhere. So this guy came to my house.
Okay.
He brought drum videos, put on the laptop. Now, when I watched those drum videos, it was nothing like anything around. So that became my new standard. Wow. I saw drum shows, only drums, with thousands of people in attendance. That was new. I saw drummers playing to tracks. That was new. I saw very good video, you know, high quality camera stuff. I saw tutorials so it already reshaped the way I saw
your
drumming.
Mindset has shifted.
So anything that anybody was doing around, it didn't make any sense to me because I was already focused on
You now
something.
have a global benchmark.
Yeah. So that really helped me to look, and there was no social media like that then. Facebook was just coming. I'm talking 2009. So Facebook was just coming in. So you just go to Facebook once in a while, see what you can see, but not many people have put stuff like that on. So these were actually videos from DVDs that we converted into files so that we can watch them. And it just did something to my mind. So all the time I was practicing for that year, that was my focus. that I want to be able to compete at this level. So it wasn't even about making a living out of it. It's about being good enough into relevance. Being good enough into relevance that when I make a statement, people want to hear it because what I am saying, nobody else around is saying it. Talking musical terms now. So when I got into the university, what I was playing was different. My approach was different. I wasn't the fastest drummer. I wasn't the heaviest drummer. I mean, look at me, I'm not heavy. I wasn't the, name it. But in terms of the approach I gave drumming, nobody else was giving that approach. Nobody else. Some people didn't even accept it. Some people were like, oh, it's so different. We don't like it. But because other drummers, they were seeing that what this guy is doing is what we watch on videos. So other drummers began to ascribe some level of respect and attention to me, forcing the rest of the music community to gravitate towards where I was going. And before you know it, what is happening right now in Ilorin, I started way back from school, where I establish a standard of musical expression that everybody now begins to see that as a reference. And that was what happened. By the time I was done in 500 level, I already had a band. I mean, when we left, everybody scattered. But but my band, as at that time, was so good, the governor invited us twice.
So good.
Now we were not even doing high life music, hip hop. No. Instrumental. The governor invited us twice.
And I think I now understand why you could do something like it's more than music. It's more like it's your own operating system.
Yeah.
Knowing fully well that this is beyond drums. It's beyond just doing the
and the principles are movable. They apply to everything.
Yes.
You know that the fact that, for example, now you have a restaurant, right? And then let's say you just travel, you go to Italy, and then you go to where they do the gelato. What do you call it?
Gelato. Yeah.
And then you see the way it's done, and you come back. And you see ice cream that people are doing,
it shifts your mindset.
Already unless you're not visionary, already your goals will be totally different.
Change, yeah.
You won't even care about if what you are doing is going to make sales at that moment. You will be more interested in making a statement. The sales will come.
And I think one interesting thing that has also set you apart is the fact that I think it just is no brainer, right? The moment wherein you begin to chase something that is much more powerful than money. Money naturally falls on your feet, right? And I think one of the greatest undoings of so many young people is to focus on money. But money is a currency. There has to be some certain level of charge that you've taken for that flow to come into you. And that is where you can now start having conversations. Because, I mean, the reason why you can become brave at that point in time is that you are not operating at the same level other drummers are operating.
At that time.
There's just that distinguishing factor that IT is not on these people's level. And it now makes sense to me to see as to how that you're saying in your first year, you know, you're already the talk of the town. Because IT are saying something other people are not saying. And it's so beautiful to see that you do not allow the success that you're even having in that early days to becloud your mind, and so much so that you now become local champion. Right? Maybe you'll not even be where you are today. And I think that is so beautiful. Let's go into leadership, right? Because I know that you have a thriving team members now, both in Epoch and God is in the Mist, if I'm correct.
God in this music.
God in this music, pardon me. God in this music, right? But there was you that had a particular band wherein governors are, you know, the governor of the state at the time is inviting you. And
the name of the band then was Psalm 150.
Psalm 150. You're very spiritual.
So then, I mean, at that time in Akure, there was a time in Akure that the governor at that time, I don't know why I've forgotten his name. I'm so sorry, Akure people.
It's okay.
He was organizing, there's a press event he organizes every month on the budget of the government house.
Okay.
So later they built a dome, a very large event center. So when they were going to launch the dome, they had to like look for who are the people that can fire this thing well. So we were invited to launch the dome. And then a few weeks after that, invited us to the government house, to the government chapel to come and perform there. Like we handled the entire service for one Sunday. it was more of a gospel band,
yeah.
although you are musicians, not
Yeah.
singers per se. And we worked for some artists also that came to town to, they came to Akure to do something. And people tell them that the only people that can work with you people are these people because they are,
Yeah,
they are on
they're
another
solid.
level entirely as at that time. Yeah.
So the question I wanted to ask is that, I'm sure there was something that you must have learned from the falling apart of your
Oh,
team
yeah.
member now that you have now leveraged in putting together your current. So I just wanted you to talk about that knowledge
Okay.
gap that happened.
So the problem we had then was we put together that team out of passion, not because we want to start a business.
I see.
So those are two different things. Yeah, we just enjoyed doing music together, and that was it. When I saw that it could be a business, it was already too late to convert.
To transition.
Because I remember there was a talent hunt that somebody organized in Akure. They tried to do it like The Voice, so we were the band.
Okay.
It wasn't a business conversation. The organizer is somebody that I looked up to like a mentor. My guitar player, who was like a major player, like major part of the way I build my music at that time, the band, the guitar is a very important instrument. The guy turned it down. Like it was like he wasn't going to be able to come. As at that time, we had graduated, so I understand.
Okay.
We had graduated, and I was still in Akure. The rest have gone back home. We were waiting for NYSC. So I was like, hey, yeah, you guys can come. We're going to run the expense and all. The guy declined. I wasn't going to be able to come. That was when I realized that, I didn't present this thing as a business because they didn't want to ask what is in it for us.
Me.
They just trusted that, IT is going
We'll
to
settle us.
everybody will be fine. So they were not sure if it's going to be worth it for them, So we had that issue. When that happened, I was just like, I think it's better. And we were all young, so I don't want to hold anybody down. I learned my lesson and then I moved on. Before I put together the Epoch House now, we already had a business model running. Yeah, we had a business model running. So nobody came in and joined
on vibes.
Purely on, the vibe is there, the family is there, the interconnectivity is there, the passion is there, but there is a business part also because I understand that as people get older, the question of what is in it for me keeps getting louder, so the answer has to be equally loud or else it will be drowned. So that's one major thing I learned, and that alone brings a lot of other things. Contract thing you talked about, understanding that you're not running a group
Passion
of people.
projects.
Yeah, you're running a business. So the way you go about it is going to be different. Even though you don't want it to come in the way of the creativity, the ingenuity that you expect from artists, from creatives. Yeah, you don't want that to be disturbed. But at the same time, there's a way we've been able to. For example, one of the modes we work with is we don't work a salary system. We work a contract system, a commission system. So that way, there's this confidence that, I'm getting adequate reward for my work. As against if it is just that, even though I did 1 million songs this year, see what I got, So that will begin to bring as if this guy is just building this thing for himself. No, we are not. I'm not building it. We are building it together. And you can see the business also is very.
So there is that shared vision.
Yeah.
Between
so
you
everyone
and your
is
team
like a stakeholder in it.
I think that is beautiful. So before I, talk about the elephant in the room, but I also wanted to, continue this train of conversation. So what I hear you speak when you're talking about the business model that you've created around Epoch, it seems to me like, so after school, Epoch was like your startup, so you didn't even bother trying to say, okay, let's get some job, let's do something.
It wasn't that simple. It wasn't that simple. So after school, I served in Zamfara.
Oh.
And that was where a lot of clarity came into what I was going to do. Because before I went to Zamfara, I was heavier on the musician side, not on the music director, music producer side. So when I got to Zamfara, I was serving in House of the Rock. As, of course, not officially as a music director, they had a music director, but I was doing music directing duties. And it just opened my eyes to, okay, I think I can do better at this. That's number one. Then number two, while I was in Zamfara, I was the band major for the NYSC, right?
Okay.
So I I had the privilege of going back to camp for the next batch to train the new Otondos.
The white fowls.
Right, so I was in camp,
Yeah.
and I was just walking around camp, and I heard somebody play keyboard at the NCCF tent. I was like, this hand, where are they here? I never heard them for this Zamfara before. So I walked up to him, and introduced himself. So I told him, yeah, you're not in my band, in the NYC band, but if you would strike a deal with me, that you would teach me music production properly,
come on,
I will put your name in my list for
those
that you will put in Guso. You see, he probably is going to be seeing this now. He's a big producer in Abuja now.
Oh, so good.
He's my very good friend. So he agreed, and I put his name. Sorry, people, that I had to remove somebody's name because I had only 20 people I can put. So I put his name. They posted him in Guso. He got an apartment not far from trekking distance from my house. So I go to his house almost every evening to learn music production. As at that time, it wasn't like he was one super, but he knows what I didn't know. I had just like 5 more months, and I used that period to sharpen my skill in music production. And then after NYSC, I got a job in a studio in Ilorin. A friend of mine had a studio then, and now this is very important.
Okay, all ears.
My Alawi as a copper was 19,800.
Wow.
That was when I left NYSC 2017. And my friend was offering me 15,000 per month in Ilorin, because that was what he could afford. His studio wasn't a commercial studio. It was he's a pastor now. He pastors a church in the US. And it was for a music ministry he was trying to put together. So I didn't mind. Why? Because it's an opportunity for me to express the knowledge I just learned, to make mistakes. And I know my friend is as crazy as I am. If you don't get it right, I can't count how many projects we did for days that we deleted. So I needed that. I needed that. So I didn't mind, and I came back home to my father's house, and my dad would be like, it's engineering that you studied, now what's going to happen? So I was like, okay, maybe I should just leave my dad's house so that I can focus on what I believe I'm supposed to be doing. Now this just follow the story carefully. It was while I was working with my friend right there that
with the 15K salary.
Yeah, that I got introduced to freelancing. He introduced me to freelancing.
Okay.
Introduced me to it, forced me to, sign up, do those things. But I wasn't getting any sales for 6 months. He said I should be going there.
Stick to it.
Exactly. And eventually I started making sales. And as at 2019 January, I already built my first studio. Wow. My first home studio.
So how did the money come?
So from the freelancing. As at that time, freelancing for musicians became popular in Nigeria after COVID.
When
we were already there before COVID. So when COVID came, we were, the algorithm was just pushing us up. So COVID kind of blew us up. We'd have been there before. So at that time also, he closed up the studio and gave me most of the equipment for free. So I practically started my first studio without spending so much money because of the relationship and all. But I'm just trying to say that was how Epoch House began to come into realization, small. So it wasn't like straightforward. Yeah, it wasn't straightforward. It was tough, surviving on 15K per month. And I had to leave my dad's house because I wanted to focus. So survival was very tough that time. Most of my money, because I had to also learn. So most of the money I used to buy internet.
Can you imagine?
Because I have to watch tutorials. As at that time, the software I was using already at that time, nobody else in London was using it. Nobody else. That was Logic. Now almost everybody is using Logic now. But nobody else in London was. I didn't have anybody I could walk up to show me my way around. So, and then I was getting offers. My brother was in Lagos. He was helping me, trying to. Before it got to the point where he got tired, I was like, I wasn't serious with my life. But then I got to a point also that I got tired of the whole thing. The hunger. Yes, the hunger was real. Maybe you don't get it. Let me give you an example of how tough it was.
Yeah.
So because I couldn't afford an accommodation myself. So I was staying in somebody's gate man house.
Wow. You were staying in a gate man's house?
Yes. And my father's...
Squatting with the gate man?
No, there was no gate man.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You were the gate man.
He didn't need a gate man, so he just had a gate man house.
Okay.
So the house was just there. So, and I know somebody that knows him, so I just...
But your dad had a house?
Yes. My room in my father's house was empty.
But you left?
I left because staying there was distracting me from what they didn't see. My dad didn't see what I was saying. And I don't blame him.
It is okay.
Yeah, it's very okay. I mean, no wait time to find. That house was behind Sanrab. You should know Ilorin very well. Thank you. The studio I was working in was at New Yidi Road at Iriwalide. So when we closed in the evening, I just want to give you an example of how much I suffered. When we close in the evening, you can't get a cab from the studio.
Yeah.
So I will trek to Unity. Sometimes you won't see a cab at Unity going to Tanke. And the money wasn't much. So I'll trek to Challenge. So I will now pick a bus. Then shuttle buses used to move from Challenge to PS.
Tanke.
Yeah. So I get a bus to Soundrap Junction and trek inside. It's not a big deal. The trek is not a problem. But the problem is that I didn't have my own laptop because before I left Zamfara, they actually robbed me of my laptop. Oh. So that was when I knew that I'm going to do music. Because why is that when I just started learning music production, that was when they robbed me of my laptop. So I was like, we die here.
I'm going for the jugular.
Anyways, so I didn't have a laptop. Yeah. So the laptop we had at the office at that time. So there were two laptops, the same make. You know all these old Dell laptops, right? The same make. One does not charge.
What they used to call it in those days.
So you have to use battery on it, right?
Yeah.
The other one does not work, but it charges battery. So I have to carry both laptops because I have to charge the battery of the one.
And those laptops used to be heavy in those days.
So I carried that from New Yidi Road to Challenge every night on my back. So I did that for about 6 months, just to show you that it's allowed for me to have gotten tired at a point because I was like,
it only makes
what's
sense.
going on? I studied engineering for crying out loud. My friends, my roommate was already working with Shell. My roommate. Was already working with Shell.
Oh dear.
So I went to Lagos some time that year. I went to meet my brother. I was like, maybe I'm going to change my mind, He was like, yeah, he has been telling me since. Then I got on the bus the next day coming back to Ilorin, and I was like, no, I'm not changing my mind.
I love it.
So I got back, but it was really, really, really tough. And then I had an encounter, which I may not be able to say in detail right now. I went to Lokoja to perform at a show, at a Christian event, and I had an encounter, a prophetic one. And, the man just looked at me and was like, poverty has left you. And that night I left Lokoja around 5 a.m. Between that 5 a.m. and 12 of that day, and I work on Fiverr, so my Fiverr account got almost 10 orders in one day.
Wow.
That was
just by a prophetic word.
So I think the encounter was more of like God telling me what He has done, because I was on the verge of maybe I should just go back again to Lagos and go and,
let me rethink my life.
Because also I was getting offers in some churches in Lagos to come and be their drummer.
Sweet offers.
Yeah, I mean offers of 70K, which is like times 4, times 5 of what I was making at the moment.
Can you imagine?
If I didn't have that encounter with the man of God, probably when I get back to Ilorin that day, I probably would have started packing my stuff. But that just, and then God now ensured that, okay, what you had is for real, this is what's going to happen. Of course, the 10 orders that came in, another 10 did not come the next day.
It was just
but it was just, and it just hit me that, this thing can actually. And that now, it has now grown to a company that has 7 full-time staff, that now has over 13
we are going to talk about how Epoch had moved from, hitting rock bottom, and we'll talk about the growth that has occurred. But what you have said now, I don't want us to just swipe over it because it's such a powerful story and experience. Because knowledge is transferable. We might be saying this in the music sector, but there is somebody out there building a startup across maybe different sectors, and they are at the verge of, giving up. Because it doesn't even make sense. Because sometimes when you are building, it feels like you are foolish.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense.
If it makes sense, I don't think there's a future there.
Do you see?
The fact that it doesn't make sense is what actually makes it.
So it doesn't make
possible.
sense, and everybody keeps, trying to offer you opportunity. And the more you are rejecting that opportunity, the more you look stupid to them. Like, bro, surely,
Yeah.
And because at the time you don't even have anything to show. I mean, this is you getting an offer to come and be a music director, getting 70K, and you are barely living by with 15K. But there is something that you have seen. There is a compelling vision that you have seen, that you know that you cannot just trade it just because of 15K, because you know that there is so much more. And again, I can see why everybody needs to stick to this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not the moment you drop a seed in the ground, it's not the moment it's going to germinate. There's going to be dark moments wherein it feels like nothing is happening. I think there is this quote by Tunde. He said there is a decade when it feels like nothing is happening, but there are days wherein it feels like decade is happening in a day.
That's right.
And I think you are more like in that moment wherein decades is happening in a day.
Yeah.
Because we had the conversation about how that you're not just getting local recognition.
Yeah.
You are getting international recognition. This is Epoch being fully funded to come to China, to come and, demonstrate what you have done. This is not, it's not a joke. It is not a joke.
Yeah.
And it just speaks to the fact that imagine you are just allowed the seeming opportunity of those moments to come by. You might not experience this possibility that we're talking about now.
I mean, just thinking about it, Epoch wouldn't probably even exist if I jumped on those opportunities. To be honest, I think God really helped me, because I won't lie to you, I almost gave up on the whole thing. One thing I do for myself, and I still do it, is, when the Bible said that write the vision, make it plain, let him run. So what I do, the way I interpret that is that whatever I believe is supposed to be my reality, I put it in my face regularly. So let me give you an example.
So good.
When I started working on Fiverr, for example, I wasn't making sales.
Okay.
But almost every other day, I'll go to Fiverr. I will look for accounts doing what I'm doing that are doing well. And then I'll just be looking at them. I'll be reading their reviews. I'll be looking at them. Excuse me. Some of them I'll message them. They won't respond. Some will respond. I'll just message them that, hey, how did you get here? Can you tell me? These Americans now, they don't usually feel so responsible. Sorry. So, but what I was doing for me was, whoever did this is a human being. Maybe a white guy, but he's a human being.
So good.
He's on the same platform I am on. He's offering the same service I'm offering. If we bring everything down and both of us sit down, I will outplay him.
So good, yes.
So what's up? What's going to happen to me if I don't stop? And as at that time, I was probably the only Nigerian over there that was doing what I was doing, recording live drums. I was the only one. Nobody else was there. So I saw that also as an edge, even though the market didn't see it as an edge as at that time. It later did, actually. Because now, top rated on everything. So even if you just Google and you say you're looking for background vocal services on Fiverr, I don't think you go past the first 3, 4 before you see what we do. So just look at that possibility. But I kept reminding myself that that possibility exists, and that really helps. As a visionary, as an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, try to constantly feed yourself with where you are going to. It might not make a lot of sense. But there is something, the inner eye we have, vision, the vision we talk about, feeds on what we feed the physical eye.
True.
You can't just bring out vision from
nowhere. You must have seen it somewhere.
You must have seen it somewhere. Yeah. And I've been experimenting this since that 2009 I told you about, when I saw those drum videos. That has been my method. I use it every time. Every single time. When there is something I want to achieve,
you put a picture.
Put it in front of me. There was a time I wanted to buy a particular kind of car. And I took pictures of the car, put it as my wallpaper on my phone. It just does something to your mind. And of course, not disputing the God factor.
Yeah.
not disputing the God factor, it's also very important that you trust God. Because that statement you made about a day looking like a decade and a decade looking like a day, it has a spiritual significance. God has the ability to compress time.
Yes.
He can compress time.
Yes.
That there are things that people that have the same level of knowledge you have, the same skill level you have, there are things that will take them time. And God can say that because you be my guy, I'm going to compress it for you. And something like that happened to me, you know. So if the way you can activate that for yourself is to probably give a part of what you do into the advancement of God's kingdom, you can never tell what is going to do for you. And then the other thing is what we also mentioned initially, which is service. Part of the things that helps things happen is the fact that you have served that thing. So now I have people loyal to the vision I sold to them.
Loyal
I was loyal
yes,
also.
Whatever you sow, you're going to reap.
You know?
Yeah.
We almost, there was a time I was sleeping in the studio. Now this studio doesn't have windows on the...
Story for days.
So cleared all the bush around. There's a river, a stream beside it. But, you know, we became barbecue and...
don't tell me that's what...
For mosquitoes.
So many people are expecting
Results, yeah.
But they have not planted anything. They've not done... It's just like a farmer expecting harvest without planting
so results are what they are, responses. A result is a reaction. It's not the action. So the question, if you're expecting results, what action did you... Newton's third law, every action, right?
For every
action, there's there's an equal and opposite reaction. Yes. So that's what brings balance. The universe cannot be balanced if you're expecting results without you doing. So all those years of silence, all those years of hunger, all those years of service without recognition, without attention, without any reward, all those things are the actions. So when the reaction now comes, the results, when it comes, you don't even need to do a lot.
And do you know the funny thing? When results begins to come in, people will be like, where's this guy been all along?
Of course. I have a friend, for example, who is also a music producer, also doing very well. And a lot of people are kind of, how did you even come? When this guy tells you the amount of work he has put into what you're seeing right now, the average person can't even handle it.
Come on.
You know, when you see certain results from people,
a crazy sacrifices.
I have learned to look for the action. So when I see you do something great, see, what you are showing me is not what I want to see. I want to see that thing that is behind you, that thing that you're not showing us. I want to know it. What did you do? You know, when did you experience pain and tears? Yeah, now it's figurative. It might not be necessarily physical,
like
tears,
literally,
but there must be something that you used to break the ground.
Yeah,
there must be something that you used to, plant roots downwards. Or else whatever came out eventually, it's not going to stand, you know? So I think people need to understand that, especially if what you have is something that is really special. The bigger your idea is, the potential it has will determine how much roots you have to grow downwards. If you're familiar with trees, for example, the sequoia, one of the biggest trees in nature, takes years.
Yes, yeah.
Now, if you see a sequoia tree, right? And maybe you find somebody, maybe a plantologist or something, that can now help you look for how far the roots have grown. You will discover that the depth that the roots have gone to, it's not a surprise that the tree is standing like that.
Yeah.
We all know the Chinese bamboo story.
Yes.
The Chinese bamboo story is a great example of growing roots downwards, like doing stuff that nobody is seeing, but those things you are doing, they are the things that will set you up. So the whole idea is to be set up for success, because success is not an achievement. Success is a reaction.
Yes.
There's a movie I watched when I was in school, Three Idiots. Maybe it's an Indian movie.
Yeah.
There was a guy in the movie that was really interested in being successful. He was cramming the books, he just wanted to top the class. And then there was another guy who was more interested in the process, in knowing the stuff, and he just wanted to be excellent. So eventually, the guy that knew the books, that did very well in school, he got a great job, and I was even telling some of the guys, hey, I got a job in one of the biggest companies, and the company happened to be owned by the other guy. Wow. So there was this quote in the movie that he now said, follow after excellence. And success will chase you pants down.
Yeah. So good.
So that's a very powerful principle.
Wait. Do you know that I just laughed? I just got what you said now.
Yeah.
That follow excellence.
Let that be what you're striving
and success Mama way,
to look for you.
So good.
So many people do the other way around.
They're trying to trace success.
That is why they don't go through due process, for example. But if you want to be excellent, you go through due process, even if the success is not coming. You will earn your skill. See, it is better to spend time to sharpen the axe than to spend time to use use a blunt axe to cut down
a tree.
You will use more energy and you will get less results.
It's so beautiful because pretty much of some of the conversations we've been having is you generously taking us behind the scenes, some of the actions you've taken that is causing a ripple effect in what we're saying now. Your water was not just bubbling. There are stones that have been thrown into the ocean. And I think it's only good and kind because this is a prototype that we are showing forth to people that, just like you said some of the things you did was to see possibilities. So even though it looks like constantly build so that you too can become. Because even though it feels like, does this thing even make sense? But there are people who is making sense for, so that means that it can happen to me. I just need to learn, one or two things that I need to do. What are they doing that I'm not doing? Fill my knowledge gap. So I feel like it only makes sense that those that are currently building now, hearing about the action, to now then hear about the reactions that has occurred. The successes that has happened. And that was why we were talking about it the other time. What your work from Kwara, conversations that when you tell people that I'm in Ilorin, we're like, Ilorin, Kwara, but that Ilorin, not Ilorin, that backside of nowhere, that north side, and you have done a fantastic job that has become a rave in one of the most powerful countries in the world. Like China is not just, sorry, no shade, but it's not, don't let me mention some countries, but we all know China, like we know China. And your work has become, the talk of the town and has commanded attention. So I just want you to take us through that reaction process, Tell us about it. We really want to hear because we've heard about the barbecue that Mosquito is using you to do. So let's hear about it.
So the Epoch House, we're a production company, right?
Yeah.
We get a lot of messages for us to do brand songs. People do campaigns for their brands and for some other stuff. So sometime in February, there's this China-based influencer. He's an European. But he's based in China. China have their own social media. They have an internet wall. They don't know what is going on in the rest of the world. They don't care, actually. And they don't need to care. So they are self-sufficient. So he is very popular in China. So he wanted to do a stunt and was like, he would contact 3 people to make a song for China. And then get his audience, his followers to vote. Whoever gets the highest votes gets an all-expense paid trip
to China.
That was in February this year. So we did the song, and we got second place, right? So, he said he loved what we did, but, the people
had voted.
That's fine, it happens. So we moved on. Later, we started getting messages from a lot of brands in and around China that they want us to do theme songs, campaign songs for them. So the attention was but I wasn't even thinking about anything big. I just, when the jobs come, we do the jobs and we move on. So sometime in June, a friend of mine who lives in China messaged me and was like, hey, bro, this is your team, right? I said, yeah. You guys are all over the place in China.
Wow.
what's going on? How can I see it? You know? So it gave me WeChat. I checked WeChat discoveries and moments, and I began to see a lot of people used our song a lot, used our video for a lot of things, millions of views, millions of views. Around that same time, my European friend messaged me. I was like, well, he's under pressure now that people want us to come to China.
Wow.
Around that time also, we did some songs for some other parts of China. We did a song for a zoo that only houses pandas, right? So that's Panda Wandering.
Yeah.
We did a song for them. We did a song for a city that they call themselves the accordion capital of the world. So they do something they call the accordion festival. You know the accordion instruments?
Yeah.
That instrument, yeah. So the accordion festival, we did a song for them. They wanted us to come, but their budget wasn't big enough
to fly you in.
all of us. And I was like, if it's not going to take at least 5 of us, we're not doing it.
Don't forget about it.
I'm not freaked about traveling. While we're in the middle of that, CCTV called. And they were like, there is this. So, you know, every September, October is China's holiday period.
Okay.
They do their national festivals and all of that. So one of the festivals they do is the Harvest Gala Festival. They do it in the agricultural region of China, in Ningxia, Yinchuan area. So they said they wanted us to come, perform the song at the festival. But before we perform the song, they wanted us to remix the song. So when we come to China and we see China, then we'll be able to, because we had not been to China before.
So
and
they
we wrote
wanted
a
you
song
to
that everybody
experience it firsthand.
So they brought us in to do that. So that was how it happened.
Wow. I mean, it just shows how our world has become borderless.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where you are, whatever you are creating can get to the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
And I think it's so beautiful to see that what Epoch is creating. I mean, is this the first time Epoch having this kind of exports?
So we've done a lot of songs, a lot of projects, or we've been on a lot of projects that have gotten a lot of recognition. We've gotten an invitation before also for Switzerland. We did a song for someone there, and the song also kind of
went
viral on the radios. You know, Switzerland is heavily conservative, so they still do radios a lot and all of that. But you know, our Shenzhen visa can be very funny and all. So we were slowed down a bit. We worked for a church, an Orthodox, I think it's a Catholic church in Malta. Also, that project would have also brought us to Malta if we already had the Schengen visa.
Yeah.
If we had it, they would have just brought us, but they were not ready to go through the process of running it for us. So this China one, they went through with, I didn't even tell you, we got the visa from the embassy directly.
Wow.
Like the embassy called us. You know, China uses VFS. The embassy called us. They came to meet us at the gate.
Come on now.
With our visas.
So good. Wow.
You know, and the guy was like that. I mean, and it was not even on a working day. It was on a public holiday that the embassy called us to come out. Like on a public holiday, the embassy was working. Of course, no, they won't be running the Nigerian public holiday system. But just to show you how impactful what we did was from when we landed, like we had a connecting flight at Turkey. And while we were at Turkey, we were boarding to go to Beijing. Almost everybody there were Chinese. And you know, because we're the only black people, you know, they like staring. So they stared at us, and then one of them just brought up our video.
No, we can't just with this.
You know, that kind of thing. That was a real superstar moment.
Oh, so good.
So I wasn't even there at that time. I went to get something for the guys to eat. And then I got back and I just saw everybody trying to take pictures.
Around.
They've called our flight now. They want to get in. Which picture are you taking?
Wow.
They said, no, they have to take a picture with us, you know. And when we landed in Beijing also, we were trying to get to the immigration. Some people stopped us and they were like, it's you guys. Like, you know.
And you know that for it to get to a point where they are sort of identifying you guys, it shows how much they have consumed the content.
Yeah. And to think that, I mean, China is 1.4 billion people, and you did something that people, you know, a lot of people still saw and appreciate. I think it's really notable.
Yes.
I think it's notable. So the China one is quite different from every other attention we've ever
that you've
gotten. And
I want you to talk about the experience. I mean, it might be different for you, but I'm not on your team. You feel super excited?
well, I can't speak for the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was pumped up. But for me, it's just part of the journey. There's still a lot we want to do. So my wife tackles me on this, that she celebrates
in the
moments.
moments.
But I mean, I'm grateful for it. I think, and that's the height of the way I feel about it. It's just gratefulness. I'm grateful for it. It didn't have to happen, but it happened.
It happened.
So I'm grateful for it. But I am encouraged by it to do more and to keep grinding, to keep ensuring that what we're doing is as good quality as possible, and we don't stop, you know, and also maximize the opportunity to attract bigger opportunities, right? So one thing it did for me also is it kind of just ticked some of my boxes, because one of the things I usually tell myself is the places my music has been rather, I want my legs to be there, you know. So I've been to a number of countries. Like this year, I've been to like 4 countries, and everywhere I go to, like when I was in Nairobi, for example, I was just telling them, I was trying to, because I actually went there to network. So one of the people I went to meet, I was trying to introduce what we're doing to the person. I was like, and the person was like, I've seen this thing, you know. So I mean, that's one of those moments. Same thing happened when I went to Lusaka. I mean, the guy had been with me for like 2 days. He was one of the people moving me around. So he never thought that
this is the person who was driving around.
You know, so we were just talking, and then so he wanted to introduce some people to me, and I was telling those people what we do with God in this music now. I was telling those people what we do with God in this music, and he was like, wait, did you just mention God in this music? I said, yes. He said, wait. So he brought his phone.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, so are you serious? You know?
It feels
so
like
those kind of moments
kind of
gives, you know, encourages you that, okay, what you're doing is getting some level of relevance. Just yesterday, I was in Lagos we were working with a brand. I'm not able to mention the name, but it's a very big gaming brand. So we went to do we did a song for them. So they want to do a campaign for West Africa. So we did a song for the campaign, and they told us to come and do a music video for that campaign. So we went to Lagos to do that yesterday. And while we were doing that, after the shoot, they were interviewing us to ask us what we do and all of that. So when I mentioned God in this music, one of the guys on the crew was like, no, you can't be serious. Are you serious? I listen to your songs every single day. Just look at that. So those kind of things really encourages what we're doing, that, okay, what we're doing is not going unnoticed.
Yeah.
And that pushes us to do more.
And I think that is so beautiful, right? One of the things that, let's use the word, our lingua in this, one of the things all of this reaction does is that it sort of gives you validation. And I think I too personally, one of the ways at which I look at life is that most especially when you experience a certain level of success, you know, I used to say that if a particular thing is accepted by, let's say, 1 billion people, it means that 10 billion people too can accept it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a value of one soul. If one soul can, you know, receive this thing, that means that it makes sense to this particular person. So that means there are thousands of people that this can make sense to.
Yeah.
And and hearing you speak, that also shows that, you know, because one of the problems of people is that they plateau, you know, certain level of success can just make people feel like, oh, that's the all mark as to what can happen to them. But there is so much that can still happen. It can still become a rave in different continents of the world. In fact, so much so that is all over the world. This is the conversation that is going around. And I think that is so beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing that experience. And I think as we wind down now, I really just want you to say 2 things, really. And the first thing would be that, what will be your advice? I know there are a lot of advice, right? I mean, this conversation is a compendium of advice, right? But I just want you to narrow things down to somebody looking, you know, watching this video now. What would be that word that you would give to them, where sticking to their vision, sticking to whatever it is that they have seen that it could be possible? What will be that word that you would give to them? Someone that is just at the point of let me just go with the bandwagon. Let me just go with the lowest hanging fruit. Let me just, it feels like this thing is not going to work. So what would be that one advice that you would give anyone that cares to listen?
Okay. So one of the things that I would advise is remove the things that suck your energy. You know, for example, for me, I left my dad's house because it was distracting me from what I was. Yeah. So if you can take away the things that are like weights on you, that will really help. You know, you see, in audio engineering, in equalization, right, there's something we call subtractive EQ.
Okay.
And what it does is remove what you don't want. Then what you want will naturally be more prominent and pronounced here. So I apply that principle into many of the things I do. So sometimes beauty or perfection is not about adding layers. It's about removing the things that you don't need. So most people don't think in that direction. Most people just think that, oh, I need to meet somebody new. Oh, I need to buy more gear. Oh, I need to get this. I need to get that. Okay, calm down. Why not look for the things sucking the energy, and take them out? And then you see that you begin to flourish a little bit more than you were, right? Doesn't stop the possibility or the advice of adding more, you know, meeting more people, which is the next time we'll talk about networking. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned, especially this year. You see, the next level you're looking at, the big break you're looking at, almost everything you want to achieve is just one relationship away. When God said that it is not good for man
to be alone,
it wasn't talking about the male gender. No.
And it's not even just marriage alone.
No, it's not. It's just talking about humanity. That humanity is not supposed to operate in solitude. There's a quote, very popular quote in my company. Brilliance is cultivated in clusters. Sometimes that idea you have, the reason why it is not moving is because not only you they carry on.
Come on, say it again. Let them hear.
You know, that idea you have is probably not moving because you are the only one carrying it. It's just you. That thing probably would 10x. Because, I mean, look at biblical principles in Deuteronomy. 1 will chase 1,000.
Then 2.
What will happen with 2?
10,000.
Why do we always think it's all about marriage? That's a principle there of collaboration. Almost every major thing I've done, it became major when I stopped doing it alone. You want to produce a song, right? Not only you go write, not only you go compose. You're the one that will put the chords together. You're the one that will do the production. You're the one that will record yourself. You're the one that will mix. Now you go still promote them by yourself. You publish it by yourself. You see, what you are doing is you are putting a cap. That thing can never be better than you. So the problem with that is that, are you doing it for yourself? You are doing it for many people to consume it.
So good.
So why not let the ideas be big by bringing
other people in?
One of the biggest things you can do, one of the best things you can do to yourself as a visionary is the ability to sell your vision to another human being and make them buy it.
Come on.
If you're not able to do that, you are not ready.
You're gonna.
You're not ready. I'm telling you, you're not ready. So that's very important right there. Relationships, either you have relationships upward, downwards, or horizontally. All of them are important. All of them are important.
Across boards.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be always
upward. You connect upward.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, because even sometimes it's even dangerous for some visions to always target people that are ahead of them.
Yeah.
To have a relationship with.
They can buy
it's
you
dangerous
house. Yeah.
sometimes because those people ahead, they've probably plateaued. They are their best already. They probably don't have any more growing to do. Meanwhile, there are people where their blood they hot, and they are your guys.
They'll give you the ginger.
Bring them. Let everybody.
Come on, fire down.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's one of the principles that I operate by, and I think that would encourage you if you're able to apply that into what you're doing. Yeah.
Wow. It feels like I should just take a deep breath. Because what you have said now, I mean, I've heard it before, but the light in which you said it makes everything different, right? Why that it is not good for you to be alone. And immediately you were saying that, you know, talking about collaboration, talking about how that the reason why whatever you are doing has not grown past that thing is because you've decided to just absorb it all by yourself. And, you know, the image that comes to mind is, I don't know whether you know this thing, I don't know what they call it, but when we're growing up, they call it Jangirova Ekpomoto. It's not even that one. You know, there's this one, the swing. You know that when you're trying to swing, when you're all by it, you cannot accelerate. But when somebody comes to push you,
just a little tilt.
Just a little tilt, you know, you have that acceleration. So, I mean, that speaks to what you have just said, because that's just a pictorial representation. When you can find that, and I think another thing again that I just really want to, you know, highlight as to what you said, why so many people are being frustrated about what they are building is that they have not surrounded themselves with fire igniters. You know, they are just surrounded by firefighters, people that will just keep, you know, the moment
Quench
you want to shine
fire.
bright, they will just drill down whatever it is.
That's why it's important to identify them.
Yes, identify those leakages and detach.
Yeah.
And it's okay, you know, it's okay for people to not believe you when you start. But wisdom for you is to, you know, I know you don't understand. Let me just step aside. It's not out of rebellion or rebel. It's not out of it. It's just that you know what will work for you at that point in time. And I'm sure some of the people, I'm sure Daddy is proud of you.
Of course.
Daddy is proud of you. And I'm sure that for anyone who cares to listen, because this is a generation of baby boomers, maybe even some of your videos you would have shared it. I'm just being wild in my imagination. But I mean, they have come to terms with, have to roll, this guy is not crazy. Have to roll, what he has saying actually makes sense. And I think every visionary who would leverage on everything IT has said, you know, you stick to it. The requirement is the requirement. You understand that you're not dead. You're just in the dark, and that dark is necessary for your growth. You have to grow roots downward so that you can shoot upward. So, and then, you know, you do everything he has said, because I'm not going to lie. I mean, because we're bringing this to a wrap, and this is something you've shared so much with us so generously, and it's a masterclass. It's not just it's not fluff. These are things you have done that worked, and we are saying. And everyone who desires success in any regard, you know, you have to sit down with this video. These are videos that you don't watch on 2 times. You know, you sit down, you're writing it, you're trying to, you know, pick lessons. Thank you so much, Heidi.
Thank you for being
so kind to share your story with millions of people across the world, to know that, you know, there is so much that can happen, even though it looks like some things are not happening in decades, but there will be certain day when decades will happen in a day, if and only you stick to it. So thank you so much, IT. And I know this is just the beginning. We're still, you know, White House, you know, every places that matter across. They will come calling at you. It will be the fulfillment of, you know, kings literally coming to the brightness of your rising. And you are that city that is set upon a hill that cannot be hidden. Cheers to every of your team members that are doing amazing work with you.
Cheers
again.
to you people. Cheers.
Again, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And we just want to say God bless you.
Amen.
Let us give drum rolls to IT.
Thank you.